And something else I seen that I thought was actually kind of cute. Charlemagne referred to 50 Cent as a diabolical genius. And me, you know, thinking the way I think of Charlemagne, he would know better than that. A diabolical genius doesn't file foreclosure, doesn't file bankruptcy, it's not a diabolical genius. A diabolical genius for my next generation of young bosses. They buying Delta. They buying the Miami Heat. They making big boy moves. Cracking jokes on somebody don't make you diabolical, because if that's made you diabolical, I would be diabolical for calling DJ MBD pickle paddle pickle. That shit ain't diabolical. Nigga just having a little fun. Get to the money. Get money make you diabolical. That's what make you diabolical, Charlemagne. Stop digging.
When you sell 31,009 CDs, I shouldn't talk to you. I'm out here, yeah. I'll Australia.
Crazy, big dog. Crazy.
They don't know him. I keep asking them about these niggas, they don't know.
No. Curtis Jackson, greatest contribution to the culture of hip hop is his fashion sense. No, Queens niggas fly, but I ain't talking about the fly niggas. I'm talking about the other niggas like Curtis. It's no nigga you ever seen wear a Givenchy sweater with a Yankee hat with Asics on. Who the fuck else could we get to do some shit like that? Nah. Every time he wear that and them two fake crosses he be wearing, y'all niggas know it's fake. Stop. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Queens niggas, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all some fly niggas, but damn, where y'all...
It's for you, man. You the only one in Miami with that, baby. You know the
see what it is.
You know the vibes.
See what it is.
Yeah.
Just warming up, nigga. 2024, nigga. Big money. You already know what it is.
Too good to be true.
It's too good to be true.
You know the
Supreme
vibes.
team. One time for all the real Queens niggas. Nigga, y'all gonna live forever. Nigga, your name's gonna live forever. Nigga, this worldwide shit. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared now,
Yes,
nigga.
sir.
We finna hit $1 billion. Don't get scared now.
Too good to be true, baby.
Yeah, we just warming up, baby.
Yeah.
We just warming up, baby.
Yeah, baby.
You already know. You want the Ferrari tomorrow? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Let me know
I
which color
appreciate
you want.
Hey, whatever color, we got every color for you, man.
Yeah,
We got every color for y'all niggas, man.
Okay, y'all stay tuned. Nigga, watch. You gonna see?
Yo, baby.
I want to put that bitch on now. You see that?
Running it down on these niggas. Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we did it, my nigga. Still be planting them bitches, my nigga. Ripping that roll, who fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas, they never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
Got the trap spot, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. Knew I never seen none of nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back.
It's your boy Bulletz Gotti. Well, you know, this video right here is going to be about this Rick Ross and 50 Cent drama that been going on. So, I'm going to give my opinion on it. You know, 50 and Rick Ross been beefing for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember they was going back and forth since 2009. The beef started. And since then, it's gotten ugly. You know, 50 going to take, you know, Ross' baby moms to Floyd crib and the sex tape of Ross' baby moms and all type of shit that was going on, right? I'ma just say this. 50's a small dude and how he moves. Rick Ross, love Rick Ross music, don't get it twisted. I like his music. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock the brother. But I think every time he has an album out, he always go at 50. Every time he's promoting an album or he's doing interviews, or really when he's promoting a project. Because I noticed that every time he promotes a project, he goes straight at 50. And it's like him and the 50 beef been going on for a while. And to be honest, Ross did start it because it all stems from him saying that 50 gave him a certain type of look. And it, you know, he felt like he was disrespecting him at the BET Hip Hop Awards backstage when he stepped to him. That's what he said. He was going to step to him or you know, speak, whatever what it was. And Ross felt some type of way about it, right? Fast forward, Ross started throwing shots at 50, and he did the whole joint with Big Tigger. This is a time when Trick Daddy and them was beefing with Ross, and the pictures came out with him being a correctional officer. Now, mind you, him and 50, they had their issues. It was a point where Ross was trying to shoot his video in Queens, and then the tour bus got shot up, and he went to Castle Hill and shot his video with the dude Torch and a few other Sex Money Murder dudes. And he did the special delivery, actually freestyle against 50. And 50, you know, he did Pimpin' Curly and Officer Ricky and all that. So, you know, 50, you know, really didn't start the beef because Ross really was the one that went at 50 first. And, you know, 50 felt some type of way about certain dudes in the industry defending him, the DJs and all that was really defending him. And, you know, which, you know, you gotta respect 50's stance on it because he felt like even if you look at the Puff and 50 beef, the Puff and 50 beef stems from the Rick Ross and 50 beef because Puff at first wasn't really rocking with Ross. And then Puff went full throttle, started rocking with Ross, and 50 felt some type of way. Remember, they had the whole Supreme team with Fab, Red Cafe, Busta Rhymes, and Puff and them, right? And I think Khaled was a part of that. And 50 felt some type of way, you know what I'm saying? Because him and Puff had a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Him and Puff was super cool and tight. And a lot of people don't know that the whole 50 and Puff beef stems from him backing up Rick Ross, just like Jay-Z backing up Rick Ross, you know. But him and Jay didn't really have that type of relationship like how him and Puff had, you know, when you talk about being cool. You know, him and Jay had like a cordial relationship, but he had an issue with Jay standing next to Ross, and he had an issue with Puff standing next to Ross. And then, you know, a few of the DJs that were standing next to Ross because he felt like, you know, which I can understand 50, you know, it's like you when you stand next to somebody that's violating and being my enemy. It's the same thing with the whole Slow Buck situation. If you remember, what happened to Slow and Trav was that these was dudes that was 50 brought Slow and Trav into the industry. But with them co-signing and standing next to Rick Ross, and Trav, the main one that was dissing Rick Ross, and then when he gets with, you know, Meek Mill, he stand next to Rick Ross and taking pictures with Rick Ross after he done dissed Rick Ross with, you know, 50 and all of them, with Yayo and them, right? Trav, right? That just shows you the disloyalty. And Trav part, like, I brought you into the game, you know, and Trav was nothing but a flunky anyway. Same with, you know, no disrespect, but it's the truth. You know, in 50's standpoint, you was the little homie, just like Slow was the little homie. So this is why the situation happened with Slow at MetLife, because Slow was basically, yo, 50 brought you in the game. You standing next to Rick Ross You in the videos with Rick Ross, you doing all of this with Rick Ross, you know what I'm saying? And then you got a nerve to take a picture with my son. Now you getting violated. So these dudes that was closely linked to 50, you know what I'm saying? And these was dudes that was affiliated, you know, 50 felt the weight, which I gotta respect how 50 felt because you taking pictures with the enemy. You know, you never do that. Especially a nigga that brought you into the game, supported your brand and all that. You don't never do that. So, in 50's point of view, and his standpoint is that he violated, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't respect that a dude that he did business with, dudes that he basically put on, did what they did. You know what I'm saying? So now when you look at Ross, you fast forward and you look at Ross and looking how the movement, like how he's running around with, you know, with Puff, like I said. And, you know, you see what's going on right now. You know, 50 going back and forth with Puff and then, you know, going at Ross. But Ross, like I said, he threw the shots at 50. Every time he got an album out, he goes at 50. That's a pattern with Ross for years now. He's been throwing shots and shells at 50 every time he had a project. You know, it was a time when, you know, and I can understand why 50 felt the way he felt because, you know, he started talking about his son in the record. The gloves was off when the son got mentioned, and then the whole situation that happened with Gunplay, disrespecting himself and disrespecting, you know, 50 during the time that Chris Lighty, who was 50's mentor, who basically helped, supported 50, you know, and they was doing a tribute, and Gunplay pulled the stunt that he did, you know what I'm saying? The gloves is off. Now, we bumping heads with you. So, when he got the beat down that he got, and then got the chain took in, you know, that's when it went to another level. So now, Ross got French Montana, who was running with 50, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning of his career. And, you know, even when he got signed to Puff, he still had a relationship with Fifth. And then French did what he did. And, you know, 50 had to go at him, you know. And he went at Fifth because he's standing next to Rick Ross. And then you got other people that was throwing shots at 50 because they were standing next to Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? And you got dudes like Meek that jumped out of his body, you know what I'm saying, for Rick Ross. And a lot of this shit was, you know, Ross started the issues. If he'd have kept it hip-hop and, you know what I'm saying, would have let it go, it probably would have been squashed. But he jumped out there the way he jumped out there. And then it's a lot of disrespect that was put out there. You know, him disrespecting 50 moms, him disrespecting his son, and all type of stuff that he was doing and saying. And, 50 broke and all that. And, you know, 50 is a successful businessman. Don't get it twisted. The man do what he do. And don't get me wrong. I think what Rick Ross does as an artist, he's dope. Don't get me wrong. The dude, he puts out good music. You know what I'm saying? He got great beat selection. You know, he talks his shit. But I think the thing with Ross is that Ross, to keep it real, he don't have to always, when he drop an album, gotta go at 50. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, 50 had every right to say what he said about the 31,000 because you talking big shit, and I'm selling out these arenas, these stadiums overseas and in America, and you talking about a nigga broke. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't really do that. But I understand what Ross is doing. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he's doing. But you got to really look at it like this, right? Ross came out at a time where basically declines in sales. You got to look at the dude, Rick Ross, his come up in the game. He came in, you know, he was a ghostwriter and all that. He was with Tony Draper and Suave House, and then Slip and Slide, writing for Trina, and, you know, working with Jeezy, with Boys in the Hood and all that. And he came out with Port of Miami and all that. And he had this aura about him of like, okay, this dude is a official dude from Miami. In hindsight, that's what everybody thought. And then when the pictures came out around like late 08 going into 09, it kind of like was like it took a lot of dudes back, you know, like, damn, this dude really, you know, really was working. And then the thing that really, like, I think what really pissed a lot of people off was that he didn't stand firm on, I had a job. If he'd have just said, yo, I had a job, it'd have been more honorable and respectful, but not beating around the bush. And a lot of dudes I see in the industry that was talking shit, that was riding with 50, is now riding with Ross. Like, I see dudes like Jim Jones. I'm like, damn, Jones, you was going at Ross in 09. You know what I'm saying? You was calling him, you know, police and all type of things, right? Mano, you was going at Ross in 09. Now you switch your tune, it's, yo, you round chilling with Ross and all that. It's kind of like bewilders me. Like certain the dudes that I see, you know what I'm saying? But that's because dudes got their personal animosity towards 50, because if you was rocking with 50, 50 helped out Mano get a deal. Just like he helped out Slow and Trav, you know, and French and Meek, he co-signed these dudes early, you know, and to see them, you know, dissing them or low-key hanging with Ross, and y'all was calling this dude 5-0, you know, calling them police, it's kind of crazy to me. Like, I'll see, like, dudes like a Hocus for a Fifth. I'm seeing him, I'm like, hold on, homie. You was mad this nigga came to your projects in Castle Hill, and then all of a sudden, Ross is the bro? Ross is the bro? When this nigga came to your projects and you lost the deal with, you know, the situation that 50 was going to get y'all dudes, y'all forfeit that situation because you dudes had this dude in Castle Hill, and then you was mad at the dudes, and then now you talking about he the bro, but you niggas was, like, I don't get that. Like, my son, I don't get them dudes that say they, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no issue with Ross. I like Ross music. Ross got good music. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like it's kind of hypocritical that dudes that said he was, you know, 5-0 was supporting 50, and now all of a sudden you want to get next to Ross. You know, I just don't respect that to me personally, you know, but it is what it is. But when it come to Rick Ross, I think a lot of the shit that he did, it's just like with the Birdman situation. Like, he went at Birdman, and then look, Wayne and Birdman squash. He went at 50, look, Fat Joe and 50 squash, right? And a lot of what Ross does is like some violation. You know what I'm saying? Him and Birdman can never be cool because he violated. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. You know, that's why Birdman said, you know, me and homie with Puff, like he said in the interview, me and homie was super tight. And then he went and sided with Ross. And me and homie broke bread. That's the same thing that 50. That's why 50 and Puff got the situation that they got, is because, like, him and 50 was super tight. But him standing next to Rick Ross, while Rick Ross is violating and all the things that he's saying, calling him a snitch and violating, talking about his kid and all type of things. Like, I understand 50's point of view. Now, Ross, he do calculating treachery, you know, calculating shit, you know, with the whole situation. Remember, the co-sign of Bangum, shout out to Bangum Smurf, when he did the Mafia Music freestyle, Mafia Music record, even 1 and 2, the remix and the original, he was shouting out Bangum, told him I'll pull up in the morning with Bangum in the Wolves by the morning and all that. But then he didn't help out Bangum, you know, in Trinidad. He didn't fulfill, you know, his obligations to Bangum. You know what I'm saying? That's why Young Dice, Bangum don't rock with Young Dice, because Young Dice and didn't, you know, fulfill the obligation they had with Bang. Shout out to Bang Smurf. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? So the shit that's going on right now, even with the P2 cosign, you see, like he co-signed P2, and he just was recently with Ja Rule, recently, Rick Ross. And you see, like, P2, shout out to P2, because I rock with P2, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell people all the time, other people beefs, you don't get in people beefs, you know what I'm saying? You just look from a distance. But in a situation with Ross, he did the thing with P2 because of the whole situation with him and 50 right now. Everything that Ross does is a calculated move, like the shit with French and all that. You watch, like, the shit with Trav and Slow. He in the pictures with Trav and Slow. Knowing that Slow and Trav came from 50, and 50 put them niggas on, got them niggas in the game, got them niggas paper in the game. You know what I'm saying? So what Ross does is, like, he wants to be like 50, you know what I'm saying? He just he models himself after 50. You gotta look, the whole MMG, everything. He models himself after 50. So, he want to take points out, pointers out of 50's book. But you see, the thing with Ross is that, and the 50 beef is that it's already reached the level of, aggression. It was on wax in the beginning, but when that whole gunplay situation happened, it reached to the level of violation. Now, it's like, okay, we're going to take these niggas' chains, we're going to stomp the nigga out, we're going to embarrass this nigga. It's to the point where you got a nigga like Gunplay threatening to shoot a DJ in the club. So it's really personal because, one, he had the nigga baby moms at Floyd house. Puff was there. Shout out to Puff. Puff was there in the video. Shout out to Puff. So he really, 50, you gonna violate me in your records. Okay. So I'm gonna take it to another level. 50's very petty. He takes shit to another level. So with the whole Ross thing, he took it to another level. And Ross could have bowed out gracefully, but Ross is the type of nigga, he a prideful nigga, and I understand that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna let, 50 do what he did. And I think what helped out Ross in the beef was that he had the support of the DJs, the co-signer Puff and Jay-Z, and even, who was hot at the time, Lil Wayne and Kanye. So he had a lot of that. Them backings, and even Birdman was co-signing him. So when you got all them backings, Fat Joe, Khaled, Birdman, Wayne, Kanye, he was still cool with Jeezy at the time. This before the Jeezy beef. Jay-Z and Diddy. So around the time he was beefing with 50, he had all these backings, right? And that's what 50 was saying, he used that, he used that to his advantage. But 50 didn't lose the war. He won the battle. He lost the battle, but didn't lose the war. You know what I'm saying? Because he played his chessboard very correctly and smart. He moved his pieces around. Him being a smart player. But don't take nothing away from Ross. But every time Ross album flop, 50 gonna go in. With this album and even the other albums before this one. Every time his album flop, because Ross do use him as a build-up, as a promotional build-up every time an album drop. His name is mentioned in the interview when he's promoting his album. So I get 50's point of view on it because now, okay, you want to use me as an album promo, and the beef with me, 50's not putting out music, like that, like how he was. So he using them, and then when 50 go in on him on social media, or he go in on him on the interview, it's you kind of ask for it. But I think, like I said, the beef, certain beefs happen because Ross put dudes in the line of his fire. you know, and I think Ross plays the game, you know. He plays the game. And I think with him and 50, you know, it's just like with the Envy beef. Ross take it a level of disrespect where there's no return or any squashing, you know. Even with the Envy beef, when he started talking about Envy, you know, wife and daughter and all that, you know, all that was kind of like distasteful. And like I said, I like Ross music. I like the dude hustle. I like his music. You know, he do make great music. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, even the album, I didn't have no gripe with the album that he just did. It was like 4 good tracks on there that I like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna be honest, you know, Ross don't have to do that to sell records. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to beef and promo it because you know the type of thing. And not only that, I think he didn't even have to, you know, because all this stems from, you know, even the Envy beef have a little bit of his issues with 50 because he know Envy and 50 is very cool. So a lot of that comes from that too, because he was throwing shots at 50 during that beef. So, you know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Ross feel the way he feel. And, you know, it's personal. But he did start it. You got to look at it. He did start it, you know, from when he started in 09, because he said that 50 gave him a certain look at the BET Hip Hop Awards. The man, like 50 said, he wasn't really on his radar. So he inserted himself in that beef that 50 had with Joe and them at the time. And because of that, this is what we get. So, you know, it's interesting, you know, the 50 and Ross situation is interesting. You know, there's no chance of them working together. Yeah, that'll never happen. And that's understandable, you know, because lines were crossed. So, and I respect it. You know, niggas stand on principles. You know, 50 and Ross, they stand on their principles that they'll never collab and do music ever again. They never did music ever, but they'll never do music ever, you know, together. So that's a common thing with them, you know, and they stand on that. You know, this beef at one point wasn't as deep as like the John 50 beef, but it got to the level of the John 50 beef. So it's at that level. Like if you see Ja and 50's beef, it's the same as that level. And even the Game and 50. But Game and 50 is not really that crazy. They troll each other. Like even 50 said he really don't have no personal problems with Game. But the Ross and Ja beef, that's to that level where there's no returning, you know. And certain things that Ross did made him, you know, how you say, in the same realm as Ja to 50, you know, because John them violated and Ross violated. So in 50's mind, he feel like once you violate, you there's no cross the barrel. There's no cross the bed. You know, it's over, you know, and it's up. And that's understandable.